The most alarming problem today in front of students who want to choose the career in their passionate interest is that they are going all way wrong. Me, aspiring to be a doctor from my childhood, have heard many controversies that PCB is a tough course for an individual to secure a seat. And at some time, I have decided to take MPC so that it makes me easy to secure a seat. But I felt regret about it. At Edgroom, I researched about NEET and I've got much useful information. After the Edgroom webinar of career options after 10th, I learned that nothing here is too tough or too easy. Edgroom made me feel confident of what I'm willing to do. Not only me, but there are many of my friends who are confused to know their careers. I advised them to make research about it in Edgroom and the result was good. So finally, I suggest every student to join Edforum and attend webinars to know more about career options. Thank you.
What should I choose after my 10th? They say PCM has more scope than PCB. Shall I go for it?
I like biology a lot. What if I couldn't make it in NEET after 12th? Could I able to face the pressure?
I want to be an IITian or NITian in future and I need good coaching for it. Where do I take my admission in?
Now that my MCET rank is decent enough, so which colleges should I choose for admissions in Vizag?
Do I really want to do engineering or am I just going with the flow? Well, I've always wanted to prepare for civil exams. So what should I do now?
Is CSE really worth all the hype? What about ECE and GP? Should I do much research about it or stick to CSE? What if I don't get a job after taking up other branches? Questions like these have been haunting us for the past 2 years now. We never had a clarity as to what to choose or where to go. There always has been a doubt lurking in the corner of our minds.
But after using a platform like Edgroom, we have been able to gain some clarity regarding our decisions and choices. Experienced people in these fields have helped us to be firm with our decisions.
What is Edgroom? Edgroom is an online platform that clarifies all your doubts regarding your career choices and gives you valuable advice. It has an answer for every question of yours.
Edgroom is not only confined to science streams but also other streams like arts, commerce, etc. And since it's an online platform, you can have an access to it anytime.
This platform is run by experienced people like Naidu, who has been a lecturer for 2 years in intermediate. He has given the right guidance in our intermediate.
Venkatesh sir's way of approaching the students was unique and fair, and he has always been kind enough in clarifying our doubts.
People like Venkatesh sir are many on Edgroom who are willing to help the students. They'll help you to dream big and achieve big. So without any delay, take up your chance and make the right choice.
Hello everyone, I am Harshita
and I'm Ramya.
We are here to state a fact that neither engineering nor MBBS are the only fields left after plus 2. We have a wide range of options to choose from and pursue.
And we are the live examples who have chosen different paths other than engineering.
We have completed our undergraduate in BSc Computer Science.
And we are currently pursuing our MBA in IBS Hyderabad.
You must be wondering how we have been so sure about our decisions.
After completing our plus 2, even we were stuck in a dilemma about choosing our decisions. Most of our classmates were so sure in choosing engineering. But we wanted to go into a different path, so we chose BSc.
But Edgroom gave us the assurance that taking a BSc is no less and we can still make an awesome future.
Right now, we are close to fulfilling our dreams. And if we look back, we don't have any regrets with our decisions. All thanks to Edgroom, especially Venkatesh sir in Edgroom, for guiding us in the right path.
So once again, let me repeat it for you. Engineering or medical are not the only fields left after 12th. You have a wide range of fields to venture in.
Choose whichever field you are interested in, and if you have any doubt, Edforum is the right place for you to clarify all your doubts. We assure you.
Hello everyone. Firstly, thank you and happy for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself in Edforum. Myself Venkat Punir, past out student of Ascent Junior College, Visakhapatnam. I am glad to share a great news with all of you. One of the best subjective and motivational faculty of our college, Venkatesh Panyam sir, has started a good platform named as Edforum, in which he gives good motivation to students to have self-confidence and achieve what they are capable of. The motivations given by him are realistic, and one of the best example of his motivation was of myself. I used to struggle with physics during my JEE preparation. Later I approached him and he motivated me like, irrespective of room in which you study, it depends only on your self-confidence, ability and practice. So being room for student, and many of my comments in room 13 didn't secure seat, but I got admission in one of the central government college, IIIT Kurnool. So I definitely guarantee this platform, which is available in YouTube, Facebook and various social media, definitely helps students to achieve what they are capable of. So I request all of you to trust him and get successful. And at the end of the day, all of you will be inspired and achieve great success in your lifetime.
Hello, this is Venkatesh Panyam, the co-founder of Edforum. Many students and parents have a question. When there are so many career websites, what is the need for another website? Or in what way Edforum is different from other websites? Edforum is a social platform where it provides all the information related to students' careers. Not only that, through a lot of tools, a student can get the personal information. For example, they can post all the doubts in Edforum, and those questions will be answered by experts in their fields. They can read articles related to their careers, related to their courses, and lot of different articles can be found in these ed blogs. And another important tool is the Advice, where they can get lot of information related to different career options. So they can browse all the information here, and they can get a lot of information about various areas. And another important one is Ed Alerts, where we provide all the brief information about various exams, and all the notifications will be posted here on a regular basis. This website is different from most of the career websites. That is, this provides complete information, personalized information to the students based on their interests and based on their chosen career options. So this, whatever the information that they get is completely personalized. This you will find nowhere. So, and one important point is all these services are completely free. Dear students, please register in this website, and you just fill all the details in the profile, and then you can download the app from Google Play Store to get all the personal information related to your career. And lot of discussion will happen through webinars. So in those webinars, students can talk to the speakers, they can ask the questions, and they can clarify all the doubts. So definitely, Edgroom is a boon to the students and parents, where you can get answers to all your queries, and definitely this website will help you to take better career decisions. Please register and make use of all the services at Edgroom. Thank you. Narasimha, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Am I audible, sir?
We'll exactly start at 5, okay?
Okay.
Right. Hello, hi, this is Venkatesh Panyam, co-founder of Edgroom. In this video, I'm going to explain briefly what is the advantage of registering on this website. First, you have to click the sign up button. There you need to fill up all the details like name, you can select the grade, you have to fill your mobile number, email address, password, you can set your password, all that. Once you register here, after registration, you can go to sign in button. In this sign in, you have to enter your email address, registered email address and your password. Then you just click login button. Once you log in, you will be directed to this My Profile page, where you need to fill up some more details in order to get the personalized experience on this website. All the notifications that you get on your mobile app will be based on this profile. Even if you don't fill these points on this profile, still you can see all the content in the website and nothing that can stop you. But the advantage of filling the profile is data will be personalized. All the content you can see depends on this profile that you fill. Here you can select the languages in which you want to see the content. You can choose either English or Telugu, or you can choose both. Then you need to type the institute where you are studying, the board, and the class you are in, and the stream you are currently pursuing, and the interested. Based on your stream, here for example, when I click MPC, I got lot of streams. So I got engineering entrance exams. I can choose multiple. I'm interested in engineering entrance exam. So only. Then based on these interest, you have some career options. So I just want to weather technology, mathematics and computing. You can select a number of careers related to, or I can say aeronautical engineering. So you can select all the career options related to your interest. Then simply update your profile. So now onwards, whatever you see, the content will be based on your interests. Let's see how it affects your EdBytes. In EdBytes, if you look at, since you have chosen MPC, all the results will be based on MPC only. Day means exam, get the notifications, all that will be based on MPC only. Board exams, day advance, MSET, AVPY, all this content is relevant to MPC stream. Suppose in profile, if a student select IPC, let's see how it is going to change. Now I'll select IPC in the place of MPC. Then automatically interests will changes. So now I'm interested in, let's say, medicine. So I need to select some of the branches. So I want to do MBBS, or I can select some BSMS. Like that, I can select whatever the options I want to choose. Just update. Now let's go to the same advice. Now see here, once you enter those IPC, I've entered in profile. So now look at this content I've changed. Here we got optometry, NEET exam. Now every content that you see in AdBytes is based on your personal interests. So when I'm preparing for MPC, I'll get all the content related MPC. When I'm preparing for BIPC, I'll get all the content for BIPC. So in this way, every tool that you're going to witness, the data will be based on your personal interest. So this site completely works on the personalization. If you complete the profile, then you can experience and you can see all the data related to your career. Thank you. Yeah, good evening all. Welcome you to this wonderful evening for another interesting webinar. Most of the students are waiting for this webinar because the right time for them to listen to the students who are succeeding in these exams like Narasimha. So definitely we promise this webinar will be very useful. A lot of questions are there, Narasimha, for you. Before we go to that, let me just show you small statistics that we have. Yeah, Narasimha, I think you can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, I welcome you all to this wonderful evening for another interesting webinar. Let me just explain exactly what we do. So we all know Edforum is a social platform which provides personal information to students, parents to make better decisions. And what we provide, Edforum provides career guidance to 8th class students to up to undergraduates. We have developed some tools. Those tools, we call them as Ed tools, and we come to that. And who can join Edforum? That's very interesting question. Edforum is mainly meant for students, parents, and teachers. And very soon, we are making it as a complete social platform where a lot of institutes also can join. They also can share the content. As of now, these are the three people who can make use of this platform. Why students need Edforum? When there are so many kind of websites, why we need this Edforum and the platform? Just now we have seen a video how Edforum is different from other kind of websites. Here I've shown you every information is completely personalized. So you'll see what you want. Every information related to your career, and so you get a lot of information, the personal information based on your interest. Then why parents need to join Edforum? Because a lot of students have questions and even parents also have questions, and they can get a lot of information related to their kids' education or career goals. And even parents also can educate a lot about the various career options. And they can attend the webinar, they can also talk to the speakers. So a lot of information available for them. And even there's information related to parenting also. Then why teachers also have to join? because a lot of students depends upon teachers' advices. Definitely, as a teacher, one should update with the latest trends. What are the courses which are in demand? What are the branches which are in demand? All this information, teachers also have to update themselves. Why? Because students will ask the questions, so teachers have to answer those questions. So every teacher should have that knowledge, minimum basic knowledge. So to understand what are the various career options available for each stream, teacher also can benefit from this particular website. As I said, we developed tools. We call them edu tools. One is we have the blogs. We say ed blog where curated content will be posted. The articles will be written by various experts from the domain. Then we have another tool called Edforum. It's a very interesting. We are going to discuss it about later. Edforum is a place where students or parents or anybody can pose the question, and most of the time the experts will answer those questions. We have one more alerts. This will give you the updates about all the exam notifications. And this is a very interesting one. Now we call it as Ed News, where we have a lot of content. As of today, we have more than 2 lakhs articles available in this, and those are going to help the students, parents, and teachers a lot. I'll show you very soon. Let's see our Ed stats, where we exactly stand now. We started this officially last year in the month of September 5th. And so far, we have 1540 registered users who are using our content from last 9 months. So on average, we got 60,000 plus visitors to the website in last 9 months. And on average, every week we are getting 2,000 students, visitors to our website. And as of now, I said, we have 2 lakh articles related to courses, colleges, careers, a lot of parenting, a lot of useful information is available. If you really want to witness, you can just log on to our website and you can see all these 2 lakhs articles. This is going every week. And we have, even we are popular social media also. And so far we conducted 20 webinars. So almost every week we are going to conduct a webinar. Last 1 month, because students are busy with the board exams, so we couldn't conduct any webinars. Now onwards, we conduct webinars regularly. And a lot of students are asking, parents are asking, what type of webinars are coming in the coming weeks or coming months. And even some of them are asking when you are going to conduct the webinars based on higher education. Definitely, we promise this webinar series is going to continue. A lot of interesting webinars are in pipeline. We are going to conduct all those webinars. And from the month of July, we'll be focusing on each branch of engineering. So definitely, those will help all the students and parents. And in YouTube, we have 517 students have subscribed to our channel, and we have more than 17,500 views for our videos. And these are the upcoming webinars. The one is at 12th next week by Raghuram sir. Is a very senior faculty in physics. He's working series for junior college. He's going to talk about the last minute tips for preparing physics, how to memorize formulas, all those things he's going to share, what problems you should solve to get better marks, all those details. Then on 19th, we have another interesting webinar by my friend, Mr. Pavan Kumar, is working teacher in the college. This webinar is meant for NEET students who are preparing for chemistry. Because earlier we conducted already webinars based on botany, zoology, and physics also. Now we have the chemistry also. Another interesting webinar we are going to have this month end, that is on the last Sunday of this month. This is a webinar is given by P. Bharadwaj, a student from Vizag, who recently got a admission in one of the best universities in US. Directly a PhD admission he got from IIT Hyderabad. So very interesting webinar for the students, parents, even Indian students also can attend this webinar and we can listen to them. So we are here to bring lot of interesting people to this platform. We strongly follow this. Don't follow the crowd. Choose a career where you find happiness and no regret. So we always advise them, don't follow the crowd. And we believe this, don't follow the follower. Have your own path. Create your own path. And if you have a doubts, come to this website, post your question, research, do some research, and but never follow the follower. And all these things completely free. So to design your career, join it Boom now. Don't waste your time. Inform your friends, parents also can be part of it, as I said. So I request everyone who is watching this webinar, please make sure that be part of this Edforum. Please register yourself so that you get all the updates and notifications related to webinars and all our website. Thank you so much. Now let's start. Everybody is waiting for today's webinar. Narasimha, if you can switch on the camera, we'll feel happy.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. A lot of people, students are waiting for your talk. Okay, I don't want to waste their time and your time. So, good evening, all. Once again, the students and maybe some of your teachers are also watching. They said they are going to watch this live, and many students are watching live nowadays in YouTube. Okay, that's why we don't see much crowd on what called as Zoom, but a lot of students are habituated to watch on YouTube. Let me give a brief introduction to Narasimha Naidu. He is the pet of all the SN faculty. Whenever we talk about him, I can see the smile on the face. Definitely, that's the greatness of a parent, Narasimha, I can understand. Yeah, good evening once again, all the students and parents and teachers who are watching this live. Narasimha Naidu Yeluri, he studied his 10th class in Vijayam School in Madhurwada. He completed his 10th class with 90.4 percentage of marks in 10th class. And after completion of his intermediate, he joined SN classes, where he studied intermediate from 2018 to 2020. So you are lucky, man. Before Corona, you could complete your intermediate. So no suffering. Otherwise, definitely it might have affected your career, because those are the two crucial years we have seen. You guys are lucky enough to complete your intermediate before what called as Corona only. And very interesting, he got 9.79 GPA in intermediate in +2, and very, very important. I appreciate you once again. He got All India 5th rank in open category in JEE Main. I request everyone, please clap for him. Who are in Zoom, please clap for him. It's an amazing result. Definitely, you made your parents, the college, your faculty member, your friends, your community people, everyone happy about your result. So I really congratulate once again. You secured All India 5th rank and you made the college a very proud place to join. And after getting 5th rank in JEE Mains exam, he secured 346 rank in advance, and which helped him to join IIT Madras as a computer science. So now he's studying in computer science in IIT Madras. So once again, I congratulate Narasimha for a wonderful journey. So far, you are so successful. Definitely, the journey will continue, and you will do wonders in the what is coming days. So Narasimha, it is a completely an interactive webinar. Okay. So first, let me ask you a few questions. Then we'll go to the questions asked by the students. Then we receive some questions even in the forum also. We are going to ask you all those questions. And even the students who are in the live, you can also pose the questions. We can ask these questions to Narasimha. And please share your what are doubts. Definitely is going to answer all this. Narasimha, please explain your journey from school to IIT. How did you got this? When did you get this idea of joining into what called as IITs? When you wanted actually want to join IITs, or when you started planning?
First of all, good evening to everyone watching this. I would like to thank Edforum and Venkatesh sir for providing this opportunity to speak. And thank you for the introduction, sir. And coming to the question, when did this motivation or journey to IIT start? Like, I believe my first impressions of IIT are really crucial in this answer. Maybe around 7th or 8th was the first time I got to know about the IITs and all the stardom around the brand. So my first impression on IIT was Those were like the top institutes of the country, which allows lots of flexibility to the students as well as strict academic discipline is enforced. So, and I was like the flexibility in IITs was what catch my mind at that time, because in schools like we have strict courses and all, whereas this offers something like some freedom in terms of the curriculum. So this was the first thing that catch my mind in respect to IITs. And later on, as I grew and I came to intermediate, BTech was always in my mind. And the topmost BTech institutes were IITs. And I got to learn about the mains advanced, how hard it is to get into one of those cream institutes. So, and I started working. And then the teachers also explained me the opportunities that are at IITs. And they provide us a platform to further propel ourselves. And all these points, yeah, they gradually moved me, motivated daily towards the IITs. It was then a very slow process. I would not say that suddenly after 10th, I felt like I need to write the mains and I need to secure. It was a bit by bit. First in the school days, I had a very good impression of IITs, as I said. So gradually, when I came to the intermediate, it was more like uh, I just want to get into them in the first year. It was my feeling. In the second year, it was even more. I was trying even more vigorously. Like I got to know about the, all the alumni of the IITs, how they have handling big companies all around the world. Like these things even just add fuel to the fire. So in that way, that was how I moved towards IIT. Eventually, I could fortunately get a seat in IIT Madras, and now I'm studying BTech in the IIT Madras.
Oh, thank you. Another question is who helped you to dream big?
Uh, who helped it? It was I cannot name any single person. Everyone had their own path. Maybe should I say the first person would be my parents, particularly my mother. Those
Wow.
were the first people who guided me towards the IITs who have that were, and then later in the intermediate stage, my teachers really helped me a lot. After my parents, they are the ones who trained me for the 2 entire years. They rectified all my drawbacks. So it was like I could say my teachers and my parents.
Yeah, nice. So your mom will be proud mom now because of your results. That's what I was talking recently in class, Narasimha. Because see, most of the parents want this type of what called a name in the society. Okay, because kids will elevate the parents' image in the society. Okay, I strongly believe in it, right? So definitely, if somebody I mean succeed, right? Definitely, their parents also will be celebrated. They also become what called as popular in the society. Definitely, your parents are. I don't say they're lucky because they made you to what called as they helped you to dream big, and they have given you the atmosphere where you can work, and they have provided you everything that you require to succeed. Definitely, what you said is correct. Your mom, definitely, I think other people are watching. So definitely, you keep these points in mind. How parents affect the kids' dreams to realize. Uh, yes, that's enough. Because you see, we know that this year at 20th we have the JMS exams. Okay, and the students are preparing seriously. Tomorrow, actually, we have a grand test in the college. That's why many students couldn't turn up, right? Maybe they watch video tomorrow evening. Okay. But these tips are going to be forever in the YouTube. So let's try to squeeze as much as we can from you, right? So the question is, students have a lot of questions. Uh, they are under a lot of stress, right? They have question marks. Okay, and everyone, because only when we experience it we can answer it. Okay, unless until we experience it we don't have an answer. So they do have a lot of question marks in their mind, and some of them are expressing, some of them are unable to express. Okay, so I have some questions, we'll ask one by one, and please try to answer those questions. So the first question is, how see, because as I said, the exam is the next month 20th, sorry, this month 20th, so hardly we have another 15 days to go. Okay, the question is, how to revise the concepts in 20 days? The first question was asked by students.
Yeah.
There's so much syllabus is there, right? How to revise them? So what is the plan?
So first of all, I would like to be precise here because I don't want to spend so much time taking the students' preparation time. So revising the concepts, like I always had this cliche about revision. Like revision is should be something like a few topics or some particular like scoring areas or something like that. So entire revision it's not like it shouldn't be done. But I believe like in a matter of 20 days, it could revise the entire concepts. Like there is no point in having a training program for 2 years. So you need to keep in mind that fact that revision it takes a lot of time. But if you want to do it in 20 days, like be particular. Like suppose there are some weak areas where you are struggling with, and there are also some scoring areas like dimensions or biomolecules part. So you first prioritize these topics. So you can first of all revise these topics entirely, and if you are left with some time, then you can try out some hard problems in the remaining areas. But if you are only left with 20 days, I would assume like you had at least read twice all the other topics. So therefore, you do not try to read them again. So what you do is, suppose there is a chapter like Newton's law of motion. Like if you want to study the entire notes and all, it would take some time. What I say is, you book some difficult problems, maybe two or three from some named books. You try to solve them, like really hard problems. Like if you try to solve them, there will be it is a revision because if there's a hard problem, maybe it is Newton's first law, second law, the third law. Like all these will be done in one single problem. In this way, you will even do a problem, and also your revision will be done. Like this is what I would advise for the topics which you're already strong in. Like suppose if you're weak in a particular topic, then you need to read it again. Like read it in the sense like just look at the formulas, see the logic behind them, try to derive them if possible, or else just get the intuition behind it. In this way. Whereas for the other areas which I have told, you take a really hard problem, like not some PhD level stuff, something just in advanced or just beyond advanced thing, and you try to solve it. You solve it for 1 hour or something, then just try to add some hints or some partial solution. You'll get some idea. Again, try to solve it again in this way. This will help you, be more efficient, and also this is time saving process. Say in 20 days, it's not really possible to go through all the topics. So this is what I would advise.
Yeah, this is the biggest question that the students usually have. They are preparing. They prepared for part test, right? So for each part test, the syllabus was 1/4 of the total syllabus. So that way they prepared. Now the question is, all of a sudden, before 20 days, in every college conduct grand test, right? Or the mark test. So all of a sudden, since they are habituated to a chunk of syllabus for every exam, all of a sudden there's so much to prepare. Okay, they think that will it be possible for me to revise all the syllabus before the day? So that's what you said, right? When you studied for 2 years, they're forgetting that the entire syllabus they studied for 2 years, right? So during that, one day or whatever you said is correct. So their students identify your weak areas, only focus on those weak areas before the exam, not the entire syllabus. The moment you think it is entire syllabus, you will be under stress. The other question I received as how to manage time here, right? Because see, there's so much syllabus in physics, 40 chapters, chemistry, 40 chapters, mathematics, 40 chapters. So how to manage time for each subject? That's the question.
Time
Is there a
management.
rule like this? You studied these hours, or does it depend on the student or does it depend on subject?
Uh, like for me, it depends on the day-to-day work basis. Like some days we had a lot to study in chemistry, or like lot to work on chemistry. Some days on physics. Sometimes. So based on that, I used to allot time on a daily basis. But what I do in like an abstract view of time management is like first of all we need to reduce all the distractions. Like suppose if you are playing a video game daily for maybe a 1 hour or something, so we should try to cut down it. Even ideally, should completely avoid it. If it's not possible, maybe reduce it to 15 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. So first of all, if after doing all that, like if you don't have any distractions in the available time, what you do is we make it into three equal parts. Suppose you are getting some 6 to 8 hours daily at home to study, then divide it up to 2 hours for each subject. So in this way, like suppose yesterday if you have done 4 hours chemistry, so now try this day, you dynamically allot less time to chemistry, so that on an average you are spending equal time on each subject. So this is what I followed, and in particular, like there are not many principles regarding time management. You just need to cut down time on distractions and allot equal time to each subject. That is what I follow and I advise to.
Wow, that's good. So, that's what I always say. Now you don't require time, you require focus. Okay. So time is there, the focus is not there. So if you start distracting with the mobiles or other things, definitely you will be under stress. Now, most of the question, I mean, students have this question. How did you manage your stress in the last week of preparation? Because a lot of expectations will be there from teachers, parents, and community. So students generally will get a lot of stress. Will I get the rank? Will I able to score the mark that I desired? So how to overcome the stress in the last 1 week or so?
Okay. Um,
Shall I repeat
how
the
should
question?
I answer?
You understood the question,
No, sir,
Narasimha?
no, sir. I got the
Yeah, okay,
question.
go ahead.
I got the question. Uh,
Are you under
handling
stress,
stress.
Narasimha? That's the first question we have. Are you under stress before 1 week exam? Are you anxious?
Not really. I was not really under much stress, but there was some stress, but not really. It was like regular stress. So mostly stress will come due to performance anxiety for most of the students. Like, will I do good? Will I get qualified? Or will I get this particular rank? So what I say is, if we try to minimize it, like you just go give your best efforts. Don't think what will happen and all. Eventually, this will help you handle your stress. So that is like I'm trying to elaborate it, but like mostly like just give your best results. Like no matter what the outcome is, like this may sound abstract, but if you keep on thinking whether I'll do it or not do it, like this will eventually give you some stress. Again, this will hamper your results. This is something like that. If you think more about your results, it will reduce the performance, which will eventually hamper your results. So you stop thinking. Like I will not say like you completely, avoid thinking about it. You just don't get really serious about whether will I get this particular rank or not. Just prepare yourself, give the best results. I mean, give your best effort. That's it. Hope for the result. This
Uh,
will really help you handle your stress.
I have a question, Narasimha. I mean, generally see, stress depends, as you said, depends on preparation. But every student will have a stress depending on their expectations, right? Maybe a student who is scoring 90, 100 marks, they have a stress that they able to get 150 plus or not, right? Those who are getting 200, will I am able to go to get 250 plus or not, right? Those who are scoring very good marks, 280 plus, will I get top five? So did you anticipated that you are going to be in top 10 before writing the exam? Or you came to know that only after writing the exam? Are you
Okay.
understand that you want to be in top 5 or top 10? Did you expect
No,
that?
sir. I was not really expecting some particular rank. As I already said, like I was expecting some good performance. That,
Okay.
but it was not like some single digit rank. I was like really preparing well and all. Like once I got to the exam hall, just after writing the exam at 1.5 hour or 2 hours, I just felt really like something. I'm going to get some really good experience. Only at that point I realized that like I did really well.
Oh.
Like before the exam, I did not think like I was not even bothered about the ranks and all. So, like before the
Oh.
exam, like, I was like more about preparing, give your best. Like mostly like there was this extension also there due to corona. Like we don't know. Who knows? If I'm preparing today, tomorrow the exam might get extended, like postponed. So there was this sort of thing in my mind too. So therefore, I was more focused on just giving. Whenever the exam will happen, I'll go right and give my best effort. So that was what was going through my mind then.
Yeah, that's well said, Rashmi. Actually, I always expectation first, right? The moment you target, I want to be number one, number two, number three. So definitely you'll be under pressure, right? So you wrote the exam without expectation, right? That's helped you really well. So it's a nice suggestion to students. Don't expect anything. Just do yourself. Prepare First, preparation is more important, right? So actually what happens is the moment you said, when you have seen the paper, you just came to know that you did well and you're going to get a good rank. Okay. And since it is a relative performance, right? So when you are doing best, the others also may be doing best, right? So because there is a lot of chance. So that's what I said, right? Because since it's a personal exam, when you are facing a problem, when you think that the paper is very difficult, maybe other guys also have the same notion, right? It may be a difficult exam. So definitely, this is how you handle stress. Don't expect before the exam. So anyway, the results are going to come after the exam. So we have one more question. This is most of the students have this in mind. How to, should we solve many questions or be thorough with the theory and synopsis during the last few days of exam? Now, as I said, there is only 20 to 15 days time is left, right? So should they continue to solve the previous exam papers or any other papers or material, or should they revise just the concepts? That's the question.
Okay. First of all, whoever asked the question, I would like to ask them one more question. Do you really think in the last 20 days you'll be able to read the concepts again? So
Yeah.
we ourselves even try to open the notes and try to read them. But since we have already gone through them number of times, it really is not so easy to focus to again read it completely with interest. So if you think you can read and you can completely focus while reading, then I would advise you, because we can solve any number of problems, but there can be a entirely new approach if you're in this paper. But if you're not thorough with the concept, you may not be able to solve it. So being thorough with the concept is always good. But strictly speaking, like I believe in the last 20 days, I myself couldn't focus while reading. Like if you have some doubt, you can refer it. But revising only concept is not, it's difficult. Even if it is needed, we can't, because we already gone through the same notes quite number of times. So solving problems is advice, but again, it's up to you. If you're not able to solve the problems, you'll again get depressed. Then your morale goes down. Your performance eventually comes down. So there is this caution also. So you need to solve problems, but your morale should not go down. Solving problems in this, don't solve easy problems. There's no point in solving easy ones. If you feel some problems are easy, then increase the difficulty. So these are two advantages. Revising is always good, but I feel we may not be able to do it. So go for the problems. But again, keep your morale high. That is very important. Like how much you prepare, how much you revise. If your morale is down, it really affects your result. So therefore, this last 20 days, your morale should be really high. That's very important. And I would also like to slightly add upon this, revision, last revision.
Yeah, Narasimha, you
Did
can
I
go.
get disconnected, sir?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay, correct. Till what point could you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we heard everything. You go ahead.
Okay, cool. Okay,
You're talking about the revision.
okay.
I think you have a network issue, right?
Revision, like already I've told you, like revising should be something like you should refer your to be efficient. You go blunt. You'll again do all this concept in your mind. So this is one.
Yeah, Narasimha, you have a network problem?
So not usually this happens.
Okay.
Just go to my mobile hotspot.
Yeah, that's fine. There is some breaking is coming. So you don't have
Actually,
Wi-Fi in your campus?
yes, sir, we have good Wi-Fi. Right now, I'm in my home, not in
Oh, you're on
campus.
Vizag. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
So let's go to the next question then. Uh, there are some exceptions in organic chemistry, right? I mean, in organic chemistry, the students worried about this. Okay, how to remember these exceptions, anomalies in inorganic chemistry? What is the solution to it?
okay. To the exceptions, I've seen quite many of my friends who literally just ignore some certain exceptions before the exam. Even if some question comes, I'll just leave them. This is what they told to me. So that is that serious problem when it comes to remembering all these exceptions. Like, uh, so what should I advise? Like, what I used to do is like, if I'm not able to remember something, I used to write them somewhere. In my leisure time, I would just give a glance to them. Like if I'm not feeling to read anything, I'll just look at it. So in this way, like something like that. Even we are not so interested in by hearting certain things. So that is why like when sometimes we often feel not to read or do anything. In those leisure times, you can simply just look at those exceptions and all, and then just simply like there is not like you need to by heart them. Like there is I don't know anything at least.
Okay. So why? Because in chemistry, there's a lot of formulas to remember, right? With all chemical equation. Yeah, one more question related to chemistry only. There's so much to revise. The students keep on asking this question. How to remember those naming reactions in organic chemistry? There's so many naming reactions, right? Maybe Anuradha madam might have given you some tips to how to remember those organic equations. Can you just share your experience with organic chemistry? How you manage to remember those things?
Yeah.
Is it necessary to remember all those things?
It will be advisable, sir, because like we can't know what sort of questions come. Like for organic, we need to be thorough with most of the reactions, at least, if not all. But with practice, like we need to do lots of practice. So again, it comes down like if you don't know certain parts of previous alkenes or alkenes chapter, you may not do certain parts of the coming chapters. So organic is quite related. So therefore, like we need to be thorough with all the reactions. You need to do lots of practice. Like Anuradha madam used to give us lots of assignments, lots of practice. So that really helped us. And even madam notes used to be completely thorough with all those named reactions. So so they need to do lots of practice in terms of like these parts. Like they have explanations and all, but really learning all them would be time-taking process. So to avoid that, they need to by heart them. It's not like some molecule is undergoing a reaction without any reason. There are reasons, but it's a really waste of time for us at this point. Maybe at like at any future point of time, if you're pursuing some chemical degree, then it may be of interest for you. So that's why they ask you to simply by heart. But yeah, it's a bit hard part. But if you're really interested in organic chemistry and all, like it will be not so difficult. It's more about interest in it.
Yes,
Like
definitely.
suppose if there is some cricket match or anything, even if it goes on till 12 or 11, like we don't even feel like sleeping. We just watch it. Like even ball to ball, we will be.
So
So it's about something like interest matters there.
definitely, I do agree with you. It all depends on interest. So the same applies to even students have this question. I keep on saying, but they ask the same question. So there are so many formulas in physics, right? And is there any easy way to remember them? Or how did you manage with the formulas? We always keep asking the students to remember the formulas, right? At the last moment, because the question is, Narasimha, what they should remember, what they should derive, because they cannot derive every formula they want in the exam. At the same time, they cannot remember every formula, right? So, can give one example where they should remember these and they should derive these in
Okay.
physics.
With physics, okay, like out
So,
of
what
seven.
strategy NRS told you to follow for physics formulas?
Okay, for us, like Except the basic formulas, we used to derive everything else. Like I don't think I have remembered any formula. Even the potential in depth inside the earth, I never remembered it. I always used to derive it. Even if I try, sometimes I used to try to remember it and go to exam. In the exam, I used to forget it. Again, I had to derive it. So I just gave up this idea of remembering formulas. Whenever, whatever formula it may be, I used to derive. So like if I have to give an example, mm, maybe we'll go with the potential. Uh, we have this formula for potential at a height h above the distance,
Surface of them.
h above the surface of the earth, which is 1g mgh into 1 minus r by r, like something, it will be in something that form. This is something you can derive yourself. So what is the general formula you have? Minus gmm by r is the potential, if I'm right. Yeah, minus gmm by r. Now, at we
Height
know
is
g equal to minus gm by r square. This is the known result. And at the surface of Earth, you put r equal to capital R. And at h above the surface, you put r equal to capital R plus h. Now you simply divide these two and plug in, substitute g. You will get some beautiful result mgh into some h by capital R, 1 plus h by capital R, I guess. So these
uh,
things.
now the question is, Narasimha, see, it may not work out to all the students, right? Because everybody
Uh,
cannot derive this, and sometimes it takes a lot of time. Also, time is also very important, right? So if they
yes.
keep on deriving every formula, so definitely that time will be a lot of problem, right? So definitely they should remember some formulas. They should derive some formula. That's what we generally suggest. For example, see, there's so many formulas in electrostatics, not a problem in electromagnetism. They cannot tell. So what we ask them is to remember the end results. Okay. For example, magnetic inductivity a straight wire, infinite wire. So mu naught I by 4 pi to sine theta plus, I mean, sine alpha plus sine beta. From that, they can derive the rest of the formulas. Okay. So the students, whenever we ask them to write the exam, they say that, sir, I need to revise all the formulas. Okay. This is the statement most of the students give, right? However, they what called as they think that by looking at the notes, okay, they think that everything is a formula, right? So we always suggest them. Now, do you have any habit of writing any I mean, abridged notes after each chapter? Did you do that?
Like not during the regular 2 years, but during the end when we are revising, we were like I maintained a short notes for each chapter, particularly for physics.
Okay.
Like not during the regular
What
two
did you
years.
wrote in that notes? No? What did you write in that notes?
Like I used to write the regular last, like if suppose electromagnetic and the Faraday's last, and then I used to write the fundamental results like proportionality and all. And then also I used to make a list of small errors which I commit while doing this, using this format. Like I used to sometimes I'd take r cube instead of r square or r square instead of r. So certain things like that, and also some important results in graphs.
Okay.
Like we have sometimes they'll ask what is the maximum at where send the potential reaches. So I used to write such formulas.
Oh. So
Like
another question they have is since there are a lot of calculations, right, involved in the exam, especially in chemistry, also there are a lot of calculations, and most of the students will a lot of time for them. Do you suggest any methods to overcome that issue when they come to
okay,
calculations? What they should focus?
okay, this thing I can answer. Like I myself faced with the calculations part some problems. Even the first means I had done some silly mistakes in with respect to calculations. So generally, why calculation mistake occurs is either due to lack of confidence. Like what happens is student solves one particular question. Then after solving two questions, he'll go back to that question and again solve it. Like this may be wrong, this may be, or else he will be, like trying to solve them too quickly. Like if suppose some particular some problems require some 5-10 minutes, at least some good amount of it, he will be, vigorously writing in some scribbling something on the rough sheet, and he'll try to solve it in 3 minutes. At some times they'll have some calculation mistakes. And also, when it comes to chemistry particular, what in rough they'll try to be very precise and all. Like they'll take a small place and they'll try to restrict the calculations to that part. In chemistry, what happens is you need to write them elaborately. If there is a reaction, you have to write it, balance it. Then only it will help you reduce your errors. Like in when chemistry, there will be lots of molecules, there will be lots of amount of values to be calculated. If you are trying to restrict it to a certain place, like maybe there is two values to be found, x1 and x2. Some place you might use x2 instead of x1 because you wrote them so near. So these are like the general mistakes what people do while solving. So for chemistry, like what I did was whenever any stoichiometric question comes, I'll just keep at least half page for the question. Like even if it is like small question or big question, I don't care. Like because I have done enough mistakes in stoichiometry, so I value it that much. So first I'll write the reaction, only then whatever that 6 minus x1 or x2, like we write something under the equation. So like I'll write them elaborately. Only then I'll solve it under it. If possible, like I'll take the entire page of the question. Like that part is thing. So don't try to be, confused or something. So for chemistry, give them required page. That's one big problem where we commit mistakes. This happen. Like just imagine in your mains examination, instead of x1, you use x2 somewhere and you got the wrong answer. How will it be? Your +4 becomes -1.
Because
Uh,
wrong answers also will be there in the options.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
big problem.
Just because half rough sheet cost you 5 marks there.
Yeah, that's true.
So the
Yes.
cost here is like really immense. 5 marks, half rough sheet. So I would advise you to keep that thing like be precise and also elaborate. Don't try some thesis or something. Just give them sufficient space. And the first parts, like for the confidence thing, it happens when you're either getting like less marks or you're not able to solve many problems. When your morale is low, you just keep on checking the questions you solved. This is what I said. You should keep your morale high. If your morale is not high, even if you solve it correctly, you will feel it's wrong and you may not keep the option. So that's why. So always keep your morale high. That's the important thing. And the second one, like don't try to prioritize speed over accuracy. Like there are some questions which take 5 minutes or 10 minutes of time. If you come across such a question, give it that time. Don't try to solve it in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So each question has its own range. So you need to identify that and allot the time for it, and accordingly you need to solve it. So that's what I do. Like the calculation mistake, it comes with practice. Like not practice. Like we are preparing for JEE mains in advance. We need to keep in mind if you're having trouble with small plus and minus, like you need to criticize yourself for that. Like why am I making this mistakes? Like this self criticism is important. That only makes you alert. Like if you criticize yourself as that, next time you write a plus or minus, you'll just be a bit more alert and you'll not repeat a mistake or something. So that's what is important.
Yeah.
So that thing will help you a lot.
Most of the students, when we ask why you score low marks, this is what they say. Such silly mistakes. Okay. So these are called silly mistakes, but it costs you a lot of things in life, right? So you have to balance. Yeah, I have a question, Narasimha, when you said you can do elaborately. Will there be any, I mean, what called as limit for number of papers they give during exam? Can you use any number of white papers?
Like
Will they
they
give any
will
number
give
of
you
fixed
as many
papers?
as required, sir. During
Oh,
our time, like the one invigilator was roaming. Whenever you asked, they used to give 2 pages or something.
so there is no restriction on the papers, right?
Sir. Upfront, they will not give you papers, but as you require, if you ask, they will give it.
Because actually, what happens is during when we prepare in the class, right? Most of the students do rough work on the back of the notes, right? There won't be any place. If you look at last 2 pages, you find lot of calculation part. Even they find 2 centimeters gap, they'll do there itself, right? So
Yes,
many
sir.
students are habituated to that. They don't maintain a proper rough notes. Okay, and because of this, doing calculation the small pace, we are habituated to that. Even when you know that you can take any number of white papers, still they want to do it in small paces. Okay, maybe there you are going to make a lot of mistakes. Okay, Let's move on to some more questions. I have this. The question. As I said, exam is approaching. There is a 15 days time. So there are three different subjects they need to prepare. There's so much of syllabus. Okay, and how do they allocate the time? What called as in the preparation last 15 days time. Okay, uh, I mean, can you give some, because most of the students wanted to get into some NIT, some good NIT. Suppose they may not get 5th rank or 10th rank or first rank. For those students who are expecting 180 to 100 or 200 marks near to score, right? So can you give us some chapters if they prepare these chapters with a chance of scoring better marks
Okay.
from each subject? Mathematics, these are the chapters. Physics, these are the chapters like that. Do you have any idea about it?
Okay, sir. Like, I may not give a complete list. Like, I don't particularly remember all the chapters name, but I'll try to give some list. Like,
Yeah.
for mains in particular, like, there are some certain chapters for each subject, which you might find them in online or anything. Like, if you prepare for them, like, you'll get at least some 15 to 20 questions. Like, no, maybe I'm not exaggerating. Maybe some 10 to 15. Uh,
Yeah.
that is minimum. So, for example, in maths, like this Boolean algebra and statistics, like at least one or two questions will come from there, those two topics. And these are also not too difficult. Like Boolean algebra, like you'll have logical ands or statistics, like a mean, median. So, like if they want, they can give really hard question, but it means they won't ask. That's what. Like I don't have any particular enmity with this concept. These are really beautiful concepts. I'm not underestimating them. So what I meant to say is like these are like scoring areas, and also for when it comes to physics, like this chapter units, dimensions, and measurements, and
General
also
physics. That's called general
general
physics.
physics,
Yeah.
general physics, and even fluids is also one chapter. Like you can score well. And there's one more chapter like
Heat. What about heat part?
it's a
Thermal
heat,
properties.
and thermal properties of matter, and
Yeah.
even that elastic properties. Like sometimes they'll ask some hard questions, but it is also like both combined. If you study, you will get certain good number of questions from those areas. And, there is one more thing, sir. The waves chapter. Is it still in the syllabus?
Yeah.
No, that waves chapter. This
Waves
electrical,
and so.
the 14th chapter in second year or something.
Yeah. Modern
Electrical,
physics. Complete modern physics.
modern physics,
Easy
modern.
to score. Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
these two.
Narasimha, one more point is, see, uh, during the mock test time, right? Some students will absent, okay, because they want to avoid the exam, lack of confidence, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
what is that you are going to suggest for such students? Uh, is it a right thing to avoid the exam during the? I mean, they think that if they write exam, they'll get less mark, that decrease their morale, right? So directly they won't write the exams. Most of the students they say that, sir, we are preparing at home. We have our own plan. Okay. Are they doing the right thing by staying at home by not writing exams?
No, sir. It's not. It's like I would call it a crime to not write an exam because first thing these are prepared by highly professional teachers. Like they themselves have been teaching for a lot of time. They know the paper standards. They know what concepts can come. So this will be a great opportunity. Writing this test will be a great opportunity for them to enhance their performance in the final exam. So that is one thing. And second thing, like being scared from exam is not an good thing because like at most what happens is you get less marks, but you will learn where you are missing. The point of the exam is to learn. It's not about getting 300. Really speaking, if you are getting like 300, you couldn't like you should have ignored that such an exam because if you scored full, there is nothing to learn from there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like if you score less, there is a lot to learn. You can learn it from the exam. Two, you may have less times in the grand test, like because maybe 1 month or 20 days will be left for you. But these exams give you an opportunity to improve yourself. Like maybe if you are, feeling scared because you get embarrassed if you get less marks or something. like there is no need to worry. Like whatever mark you get, there are like some 10 lakh people writing. There will always be someone above you, someone below you. Just because there are many people above you in the institute, that doesn't matter much to me at least. Because 10 lakh, even if you get some maybe 100 or even less, like imagine how many people would be there with the same score. But even in just people who continue with this test and improve themselves, they will cross you. Like people who are on the same scale at the start of grandest, who wrote the test and improved themselves, will cross you eventually because he is giving more better efforts and in an organized way. So that's why, like, you need to give those tests. Like, you need to learn from them. Like, you might get less marks. Like, it may be a bad thing to you, but it is not that bad. Like, how should I put it? I'm finding, more polite words.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I always say, Narasimha, because see, the moment you compare, okay, it will be a problem, right? So it doesn't mean that in this exam someone got better marks. It doesn't mean that it's going to get all the time, right? You may beat someday, right? So, Narasimha, did you have any? I mean, did you face any such competition there in the college? Did you lag any time?
uh,
Are you behind somebody else in the college, or you are
yes, sir. I was
on the top?
behind somebody else in the college. Like I had my own, the less morale stage or something. Like it's part of the 2 year process. Everybody feels something. Sometimes there will be a lot of people getting more than you. Sometimes you are not reaching what you're expecting. So like I myself felt that I have gone through such a stage and also again improved myself. So
Yes,
this is common for everyone. Like
that's
no
part of
matter
the game. Yes, that's
yes,
part
it's
of the
part
game.
of it. Like
Yes,
there is one saying, like who said the like there like it's not about winning, but rising each time you fail.
yes,
Something in that context. Like
yeah,
our physics learner sir used to keep us one quotation in the class every day, in the online
oh,
mode at least. So there is this quotation. I
yes,
don't
yes.
remember who said this
And
exactly, but it was something like that.
there is one more question most of the students have. I wasted my first year. I didn't realize that first year syllabus is that important. Okay. Now in second year, I started working hard. Will I able to get? Because there is a lot of what called as a mistake that I committed in the last year. I mean, do you have the same feeling? Or you are on the track from the beginning itself? Or you also made some mistakes in the first year, you rectified in the second year, or you're perfect for 2 years, but what is the advice that you give for such students who are feeling like that?
Okay. First of all, even before answering the question, I would like to tell no one feels that they have utilized their 2 years completely. Everyone feels like they could have done better, they could have improved in this area. It's for everyone. Like even me, like everyone, I come under everyone. So like this is like everyone feels. If you ask me, did you do like up to the mark in your first year? No, I would say I could have improved better. Like I could have spent more time on studies. Like I could have gone to less movies. It's something I could have like. There is always room for improvement,
Yes,
but that is not what matters. Like what matters is how much time is still left for you and how you utilize it. That is
yes,
more important. Maybe you really messed up your first year, but that really doesn't. That is not what you should worry about right now. You should worry about the time available with you and how you can utilize it the best. That's what. Maybe after completing the 2 years after the advanced exam and all, you can idly sit for a week and contemplate how you wasted your first year or second year. Like at that point, that's a different thing. But right now, like you do not worry so much with what happened. Like focus on what you need to do right now. So this is what in 2 years, what I always like. I used to see what I had to learn next, what I had to do. This is what I focused more on, not like what I had done or what I had not done. So that's more important. Like focus on the present part. Like maybe it might be really true that you have not like messed up your first year, but it is not the right time to discuss. Like worry about that. You should focus more on the coming year.
yeah, that's very good question because this is what worries most of the student because I wasted my time. I didn't realize that JEE Mains is like this. So will I get this? So a lot of question marks. You rightly answered. That's why I have a question. See, since the 15 days are left, everybody are preparing seriously. What is the advantage of solving the previous JMN's questions during this time? Will it help them?
Okay. Like first of all, like I would to give some context. Like the J main scenario has changed quite a lot when I wrote and how it is being conducted right now. So when we were writing the previous years, there were only two shifts or one shift. So the number of previous years papers were also less. Even if you
Yes.
want to solve it, it was something doable. Like our juniors had four shifts and each had 3 days of exam. So
20 papers
three,
available.
then six. So 24 sets of papers will be there for 1 year.
Yes.
So it's like you need to really, like, I can't really answer. Like, this is more 24 papers means if you even give 2 hours at least, it's 2 solid days. Like 2 solid days before the exam is really a lot of time.
So,
So I would say, like, if you are really left out with lots of time and you really want to solve them, then I would advise you. But it's not really mandatory that you solve all of them. You maybe go through a few 4 or 5 papers, get a good idea of how questions are being framed, like how the model is coming. So that is more important. Like you get the gist of it. So if you get the gist of it, then with the available time, you can solve maybe a two papers or three, four. So it's more important. Like if you are solving them from starting, then I would advise you to solve all of them. But it's not like if you are left with less time, there is no compulsion to solve all of them. Just do as many as you can, maybe 4 or 5. Then focus on what you have been in the week or other parts of revision which you are planning to do. So that is, but you just look at them at least. Try to see what are being frequently asked. If you could see, like, when our mains being conducted our year, like when I look at the stats, like there were at least 7 to 8 questions on average in chemistry from NCRT.
yeah.
Directly, just like it was like something, some fill in the blank or something. It was that direct.
Yeah.
So, you need to look at those. Oh, okay, there are at least 7, 8 questions coming from NCRT. So you need to prioritize NCRT for chemistry. Two teachers tell us to read chemistry like NCRT and all, but this was more different. Like if I remember, like there were some 12 or 16 questions in my particular shift. So like my shift had maximum number of questions. Like I was grateful to my teachers then. Like, oh, if I had not studied NCRT, it would really messed up. So like you need to look at the stats and all to get an idea how questions are coming. That's more important.
Thank you. Definitely, these books will help a lot. Now, one interesting question. Nowadays, every student first priority are they listen to only friends, right? Before friends, everything. Nothing else works, right? So, is there any influence of your friends on your success and failure? Do you think that your friends help you to succeed? Are you complete your? Did you distract with your friends, or did they help you to focus? So, you manage that?
Okay, also like a really difficult question to answer. Like I cannot personify anyone here or like
No, no
I
need to
cannot.
name them. At least, do you have influence of your friend? Maybe some friends will encourage them when you are low, right? You said when you are low, you need even friends also, right? Or
Like
because
I
of this.
always had like my parents and teachers in place of friends in that thing. So
Okay.
it never really went till the friends part to
Oh,
motivate them. So already like either my parents or teachers were for me even more than friends. So it was like for me it was a different scenario. My parents would be there rather than my friends.
no, no, no. So what happens is, see here what happens. Nowadays, most of the students, how many times we say they listen to the friends, right? Suppose if they say that, alright, tomorrow I'm not coming to the college, this guy also will absent. The question is, as now you have grown up, you passed your intermediate, now you're engineering. How important is friendship and career? How to distinguish them? Which is more important to them?
Okay, this thing with friendship and career. Mm,
They think that
Like
friendship is everything, right? But career cannot be built with the friends. So how
we
to
cannot
identify that?
leave either of them. Both our social life as well as the career are important. So it's not like you completely ignore your friends for the sake of career, or like maybe you can completely destroy your career for the sake of friendship. Like both are important. Like if you like just think in this point, suppose if you have destroyed your career, you will be dead weight with your friends. it's not like they will ignore you or something, but you should be in a position like on an equal basis with them. You should be able to give to like at least give them something to learn or something like that. This will benefit them. So it's like both are equally important. It's not like at the end of the day, like when you look at it, like APJ Abdul Kalam told, like how memories are more memorable than his marks and all. So I would say you need to balance them. Like you need to strike a balance, but you can't throw any of them as well. Like both your career is important as well and friendship also.
Yes, I understand. Narasimha, before we take some questions, okay, we'll wind up in another 10-15 minutes. So let me show you, because some questions are posted on our forum. So let's go there and let's see what are some interesting questions are there actually. Let me just take it there. Yeah, can you see the website, Narasimha?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, so as I told you now, there are more than 2 lakhs articles are there in the site. Okay. What we
And
have
one
done
more
is,
thing, sir. Like
yeah,
I would like to add upon something to the previous question.
yeah, go ahead.
The major problem, like where I feel this might be coming from, like where you need to, prioritize one or the other. Like I feel they are like when they see some movie, like how friends are, enjoying each other's company and how they feel like they are roaming, like they are like solving each other's problems and all. Like this comes from like they derive. This is what the definition of friendship from the movies and all. So
Yeah,
I believe like it is not true in real life. Like so, like
yes,
there is no need that they need to hang out with each other for 24 hours. Maybe in this movie, I don't know, like Sitama Vagetlo, Sirma, etc. Like there are two really caring brothers, but do they really hang out with each other? Like at rarely they say hi bye to each other. So, but still they are caring together. Like you can even derive from something. Like it's not that like if you're completely focused on career, then your friendship will go down. There's nothing. There's no such rule or something. Like maybe you're really having good friends and all, but if you're not able to spend enough time, if they like they will also try to understand you or something like maybe people have conflict of interest arising due to this fad from movies and all. Like
yeah,
they need not really get influenced by that. It's
definitely.
finally up to them.
That's what I see. That's about it. See, just because of friends, they think that they think bad about them. They are sacrificing their career. I told them number of times, your career is much more important than your friendship, because when you are in trouble, nobody is going to save you except your career, your parents, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
definitely you need friends. That doesn't mean that you cannot spoil your career, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
when somebody is absent because of his own reason, why you're absent for the college or the exam? So this is actually harming a lot of students. Generally, we find it. Okay, whenever there is a batch, all the students will be absent for the day. Okay, if somebody wanted to bunk the class, everybody want to bunk the class, irrespective of the damage they are going to get. So definitely, they will not understand the damage when they are in the college. They'll see only when they are out of the college, right? When they introspect themselves, why they lost the ranks. Maybe this is going to be one interesting thing that may be the reason, right? So that's what. So because you also had friends, and definitely you should have your priorities. Okay, friendship is also very important. That doesn't it's not a complete life. Okay, yeah, Narasimha will take few minutes of your time. I think, as I said, we have developed a website where everything is personalized. You have seen in this what called video also. So what I've done in Narasimha, in this we have articles related to various careers. For example, see, there is a branch called, so you can name any branch. Say, I'm just take an example. Let's take a branch called mechatronics. If you look at the content that we have developed, how this machine learning or the artificial intelligence is going to help us see. For example, you look at the content there. Here's a BTech in mechatronics, how to become mechatronic, how to become mechatronics engineer. All the articles that you see, the 5, 6 articles, they are interlinked. For example, if I do the same search in Google, say, you see the content. Now you look at this screen. If you do the same search in our website, the Edroom, you see the content. So, or you can simply take engineering, say for example, because most of the students are interested in this field. So just when you keep the word engineering, see best engineering courses, types of engineering degrees, chemical engineering, engineering branches, everything is related to what called as our search. But when I do the same search here, engineering, look at, see how the screen looks here. So Narasimha, as a successful student, how you recommend this website? Is it useful to students? You think? What are the best thing? I mean, will it be useful, or you give some suggestions for us to improve this platform?
Suggestions, like first of all, I really appreciate this Edroom website. Like we are having lots of data coming due to like more automation and all. Now this is a curated website where completely related to education pops up based on your interest. So this is like the need of the hour for the students. So I would really like not just appreciate, like I am really grateful for such an website, because right now I myself know how it's difficult to pass through all the entries in Google. It's really sometimes you need some info. There will be some outdated info which will be popping up on Google. So like this is a really help. This will be really helpful to all the students irrespective of the stream. So like I really feel like I'm it's not overstating or something. Like such an curated website is like need of the hour for students,
Yes.
because there are lots of opportunities. Uh, but no one can know everything. If you go to Google, if you type in student opportunities, you will get lots of stuff non-related. But whereas here, you will only get the curated list.
Yes, Narasimha. That's what our main aim. Look at NEET exam. For example, see, everything will be only on the based on. So the we have this what called as I mean login page where the student register as an interesting. So you'll see only that content. If you register as BIPC, you'll see only BIPC content. Okay. And one important thing I want to just share to everyone. Recently, we have revamped this forum. Now, in this forum, it's like completely about again education. Nothing else we'll find here. There are so many forums where you can post question answers, but here it is completely restricted to only question answers related to education. And we have brought these like buttons and dislike buttons, share options, all these things. Again, see if we keep here a JEE means what called as you see all the questions answered by so many people related to only JEE means. So again, by putting the word here JEE means the students can what called as get answers for so many of their questions, right? So we have developed a platform where the students or the parents or teachers, anybody can just pose the question, and definitely those questions will be answered by experts in their own domain. Okay. Yeah, we have few questions for you on this platform itself. Some of the questions, were posted by students. So let's finish these questions and review. Okay. So
Okay.
the first question is, why do we refer reference books?
Okay. For reference book, like to get more ideas. Uh, like for chemistry, it's an entirely different answer. Why we refer chemistry? Because chemistry, whereas for math and physics, like mostly ideas. Like we might know the concept, but the approaches by the authors, the problems they use are will be different. To get those ideas, we use reference books.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead. The second question, I think you can see the screen, right?
yes, sir.
The second
How
question
did
they
you
asked
approach the
is,
thing
how
competitive
did you
world?
approach
They are
the
referred to
in competitive world?
how to see the competitive world from our side. Okay.
Because there's a lot of stress, right?
Uh, this is a bit abstract, I would say, like to answer, like competitive world. How did you approach, like from competitive world, more like rather than what others are doing and all, you should approach it on what your interests are. Like it's not when I see the word competitive world, I obviously see that you're comparing yourself with others. Yes, maybe even in your interest there might be lots of competition, but that should not influence you negatively to not pursue it. So that I would say, like, ever feel to give up on what you're studying?
Yeah,
Not
that's
to the range of give up. Not to, like I felt depressed, but not. I never felt like giving up. Like that was like no. I would say clear no. Competitive is from our side. Like you should rather cherish the competition. Like it is the competition that gives you the best. The competition itself is not a negative thing.
yeah.
So I would say like I would you should uphold the competition. You should do the best and make it even more competitive. That is what I say.
Yeah, the best comes only through competition, right? You cannot what to call that be powerful or perfect unless until you avoid the competition, right? Yeah. What is the next question is what are the basic approach you given to come to exam, be it mains or advanced? What was things you that motivated yourself?
Okay. Should I answer it in one word? It would be to get a seat in IIT. That was the major motivation. I would not lie or anything. Well, to me, advance was just an exam to get qualified to and get a seat. So that was the major motivation. And later at an stage when I was into the advanced, like science itself is an interesting field. So once you are into it, you get even more motivated to do more. So in that way, it just propagated.
Yeah, that's the question already you answered. The first question you already answered. It is common for every student to realize that when they come to 12th, that they are not confident about their 11th and how they need to prepare for JE. That's what I said, right? Most of students think that they wasted the last year time. Okay, you answered. How to make ourselves strong in the subject? The question
So
is very simple, but answer is very long, I think.
yes, sir, yeah.
Yeah.
How to make ourselves strong? Okay, maybe I'll start with the fun fact. Like there is this thing in psychology somewhere I read it. Like if you study yourself, like study something for 30 years, you will really master it. Maybe you can try that and tell me if it works.
Okay.
How to make ourselves like with practice, and it depends on your interest. Like I really myself don't know how to make really strong. I ain't that strong in anything.
Yeah. Third question, very interesting question, Asama. Do you used to follow the materials which
No,
was
like
given by your
whether
college
like
or
whether
any?
the 2 years like no sir, I was restricted to the college material for majority of the time. Only when this corona struck, we got extended time and all. I passed it to some other standard reference books and law. So mostly college material. Even in the college material, like we are like once you finish something, they'll give you more. Like that was what in the essence. So if college material was not limited for us, like whenever you have completed, we used to get new stuff. So
The
that's
next
why
one,
we were mostly engaged in college material.
yeah, the next one is most of the students realize that class 11th is also important for JE preparation after they begin their 12th. Okay. What are the tips you will suggest to them? Already we answered this question, right?
Okay,
So
I've
yeah, next,
already.
we'll go to next one. How many questions from each subject you solve per day, and how many problems you suggest to your juniors to get better rank?
So I would say don't look at the quantity of the problems. The more it matters is the quality, like how difficult questions you are solving. That's what more is important. So ideally, in the starting stage, I would say maybe some 30, 40 questions, not 30, 40. It's too much. With 10, 20 for each subject. That's an ideal good start. Maybe you can start less or start more, but 10, 20 is something I would say an ideal start point. From there, based on your skills and experience, you can keep on increasing. That's what I would say. But it's not like it doesn't matter if you're solving two easy questions. The quality is important. So that's what you should prioritize. If you're solving good quality questions, one or two per day, I would be really happy. It's not like you need to solve some 100 questions. So it's more
Yeah,
important is
you
the
should
quality.
learn something from that work you did, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sixth one is interesting question, Nasima. Every student gets fear or shy of asking doubts to the lectures because of peer group, etc. Do you feel like this? Then how overcome the situation, and what is your suggestion to your juniors to overcome this? Did you ever felt like that?
In intermediate, I don't think I never shied away from a doubt. It was nothing. Like, though in the beginning, when I was not familiar with the teachers, I might have not asked a few, but maybe in a 1 month or so, when I was familiar with the teachers, like I would already like I asked every doubt. So it's not like you need to like I was never scared of embarrassment. Like that was never an issue. Like I was always there for learning. Embarrassment was not like I'm not scared of or something.
Yeah. నరసింహ చాలా మంది పేరెంట్స్ ఏంటంటే when they come for meeting వాళ్ళు ఏం చెప్తారంటే మా అబ్బాయి చాలా సిగ్గండి ఎవరితో మాట్లాడు టీచర్ డౌట్ అడిగాడు స్కూల్లో కూడా ఇదే ప్రాబ్లము మా వాడు స్కూల్లో కూడా ఇలాగే ఉండేవాడు అది ఆ బిహేవియర్ హౌ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ దర్ కెరీర్ నరసింహ అంటే సో డూ యూ థింక్ దట్ ఇంటరాక్టింగ్ విత్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్ వాట్ దే డూ దే అవాయిడ్ ద టీచర్స్ ఓకే దే ఆల్వేస్ సే ఇఫ్ యూ అవాయిడ్ టీచర్స్ ద సబ్జెక్ట్ విల్ అవాయిడ్ యూ రైట్ సో how important for the 2 years of intermediate to interact with the teachers?
Okay. Interaction is like it plays a really crucial role, sir. No matter how intelligent they are, how hardworking they are, when they interact with other people, they would learn new ideas, new experience. So that's what very crucial is. Like they cannot get it from anyone else. Like suppose there's two persons, person A, person B. A wants to learn about B's experience. He needs to interact with B. No matter how much brainstorm he does, A cannot know what's going inside B. Like what maybe there is some info with B which will help A. So interaction is very important, and interaction with teacher is even more important because a teacher has seen lots of students. They have learned like they have lots of experience. They can easily guide you. So I would say interaction is very critical.
Yeah. So two more questions we have. In your study timetable, with which subject you start for JEE preparation?
Okay. It usually used to vary based on the concepts going on. In the initial days, I think I started more with chemistry. Like the Anuradha ma'am used to come for us in which course, so chemistry was a starting point. And later it used to change from chemistry to math, math to physics, physics to chemistry and all. So it was like it depends on the concepts. Like I was never tied up with one subject.
Yes. Before we end up, Narasimha, we have two interesting questions for you. The question one is, how is the life at IIT?
Okay, life
So,
at IIT
I mean, we
is
can say how it is different from other institutes.
okay. Strictly speaking, we had only a 4 months experience at IITs. So I may not be the highly qualified person to comment on such a question, but still I would like to share my experience. Uh, so apart from regular institutions, IITs are really huge. You will not find 300, 400 campus anywhere else apart from some private universities. And also there are diverse students. Like there's a lot of clubs and all actively going on. Even though other institutes have them, they are not as active as IITs because these are long-standing clubs. They have lots of their own material and all. So that is one such good experience you'll get, which is not available elsewhere so easily. And also when it comes to academic standards, the standards are quite different. It's a kind of you'll get the best out of both government institute and a private institute. When it comes to private institute, you will need ACADS more. When it comes to government institute, it's more like a freelance, a free flexible thing. So I
Yes.
shouldn't be commenting in such a way, but I hope people take it in a sportive spirit. So in IIT, you get them both. You have both the academic rigor and also the flexibility,
Yes.
which I feel is not quite found elsewhere.
Yes. Yes. And last one question. You answered so well. Is IIT JEE the end of the life?
No, sir. I would not say it's the start of a life. Like not even start. It's like we didn't even start. We're still learning about life. We're all students. Like I don't know what prompted anyone to ask such a question, but I don't think J is an end up. It's the start of a BTech. You can see it as way. Even in not talk about concepts of life and all. J is just like a point in life. It's not even start or end. It's just a point in your life. Maybe to put it precise, it's just a point in your life.
Why I'm asking this question, Narasimha, because a lot of parents and students are an impression that only if you are an IIT or NIT you are successful in life, and there are no other careers other than IIT or NIT. Okay, with this intention, forcibly the students are thrown into this MPC group, right? And they're unable to enjoy what they're doing, right? As a teacher, I have seen a lot of students. They have some different interests, right? And parents, they think that because see you are an IITian now, maybe all the relatives may be comparing, right? See, నరసింహకి వచ్చింది సీటు నీకు ఎందుకు రావట్లేదు, వాడు మా అన్న మా మామయ్య కొడుకు వచ్చింది, మా అత్త కొడుకు అమెరికాకి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు. So these success stories are forcing a lot of parents to put their kids under what called as a lot of pressure, right? So that's why what happens is they are unable to enjoy what they're doing. So what suggestion you're going to give to the parents? Should they simply think, is it guaranteed that every IIT will go into certain life, only IIT will certain life? Is that correct?
No, sir. I would certainly cross that point. Like a student's career or something is not. Maybe with better instruments, he will have a better access to materials or guidance or anything. But just because he doesn't have access to a better institution doesn't, drive him away. Maybe he has his own talent. You know, everyone has their own talent. But like when it comes to acad, some people are artistic, so some people are good in academic skills. So it's like we need to at least give them a chance to explore them. So like there are some movie like they say like some Picasso is being sent into colleges, making him an engineer in this country. That's why you're not getting. These are like they are quite realistic. I would not say like it's exactly realistic, but the parents have some role in it. It's not just something in a policy or something. So parents, they need to at least give their child to some chance to explore. But at the end of the day, I am no one. Like I am just a student. I am like they know the world better than me, so it's up to their decision. But if someone asks me a suggestion, I would say if someone has a particular interest for anything, we should at least give them a chance. Like even no matter who is, like he should be given a chance. That is what I would say.
No, did your parents ask you, are you interested in IITs? Or did they question you, or simply they put you, or you studied because to please your parents?
Ask in a sense like I've already told you, like it was in a gradual process there, like how I got motivated to IIT. Like it was quite clear to both of us, like that I am interested in IIT and they are also agree, like they're okay with me joining IITs. Like it's just a mutual thing. Like so obviously parents would want the better institutions for their children and they're okay with IIT and I'm also motivated. So it was like something in that sense.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll wind up with one last question, Asma. Thank you for so much of your time. What are the characteristics a student should have to succeed in life?
Okay.
These are the qualities, you can say, the qualities.
Okay. I should say like it's not like I am really eligible to answer such a question, but still I will try to give an
No, these
answer.
are the definitely there. See, I unless until you have some qualities, you cannot succeed in life, right? You cannot just go by wind, right? Definitely, you need to have some rules and regulations. So these are the, these are the minimum basic properties you should have.
Okay. First of all, they need to have some courage. Like if they are taken some decision or something, they need to stick to it. Like that is what I meant by courage. They need not be, afraid of some embarrassment or something. So that is one particular quality that is needed to achieve anything, not just career or something. I would say is required. And one more thing, uh, they need to be humble because no one would like teach some proud students. Everyone wants humble students. So if they want to learn anything, I would say they need to be humble and they need to be grateful to their parents, teachers, everyone. I think humble and grateful are quite similar, but yeah, I could differentiate between them. Mm,
So commitment, they should have commitment for the goal
it's a
that they've
commitment. Yeah,
decided, right?
yes, sir. So there are quite as like there are three C's. Like our teachers told us, we could use any of those qualities also: commitment, courage, and one more
Confidence.
C, confidence.
Yeah. So these are the, there are so many art, people are three C's, these are all the tips. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. You answered so patiently, and definitely your teachers are so proud of you. And that's what I always say. See, why we should talk to these people who succeeded, and we can see how humble you are, right? And why the teachers are they're so proud of you. Yeah, because Sarath was there from the beginning. Let's give a chance. Sarath, do you have any questions to ask?
Yes, like one question about CSC only. Like, is CSC all about the programming and learning all the languages, or is it also about the AI and machine learning? Something like
Okay. Let me tell you, CSE, AI and ML is just a small part of CSE. CSE is a vast portion, just like chemistry, how we have lots of branches. CSE has lots of parts. There are lots of interesting stuff. You would be even surprised that AI and ML are not even the most interesting things. There are even better stuff. And when it comes to programming languages, CS is definitely not about learning programming languages. Learning programming languages is not even considered a prerequisite for CSC. Maybe if I want to put it bluntly, that's what I would say. Programming languages are just an what you say, a tool. Like how, like, not if you are writing some software, you would expect everyone to use it similar way. That is something characterized with the program language to be abstract. So like learning programming languages is not about CSC. CSC is a huge ocean. You'll have some, you need to design processes. That's in hardware. There are architecture innovations in the processor that also comes in CSC. And there's theoretical computer science where you study algorithms. It's not just about writing algorithms. It's also about characterizing algorithms. It's also about characterizing problems, whether they can be solved or not solved. Again, you need to prove that this is the best efficiency possible for this problem. Lots of interesting stuff.
Thank you, thank you. Srivatsa, you have any questions to ask?
I have a question.
Very
Whether
good.
the artificial intelligence is different from computer science engineering?
It's a part of it, I would call it. It's not different. AI is one concept. How should I put it? It's like automated procedure. Like I am not really into AI, so it's a course or next semester. Maybe if you had asked me next semester, I would have told you more precisely. But it's a part of CSC. It's not like different.
Thank you, thank you. Swami Gara, do you want to ask any questions? Swami Gara, are you there? Who is this? You know him? Narasimha, you know him?
Yes, sir.
Evarayna?
Babai, sir.
Babai, oh, very good. So he's happy to see you, right? Thank you so much for your time, Narasimha. It was a great pleasure to have you. You answered every question. We try to get all the information from you. Thank you so much, man, for joining. And definitely, you keep inspiring students. In the future, also, we want to conduct some more program with you because as you progress in life, you have so much information to share. Okay, I have so many questions to ask you, but not all in one webinar. So we'll restrict ourselves now. Let's move on to the next level, and we'll have some more questions because the students. That's one last question. How useful these webinars to the students? Or you can give us some idea what type of webinars will help the students community.
So really talking to seniors will always help them in lots of ways. So I would say like the webinars will really have a good effect on students because suppose if they physically talk to a senior, like he might only talk to some couple of students, like maybe 10, 20. But in such a webinar, maybe I don't know how many are in total attending this way. I'm talking in theory, I'm talking to every one of them. So like this webinar is like increases the productivity of such things. So I would say these are really helpful for the student community.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Narasimha. Thanks for accepting and very quickly responded so well. Can you send revision notes PDF so that we can read easily for physics and that? So I don't think he has that note. Do you have that note?
No, sir. I don't think it's not. I think I've given it to someone.
Yeah, if you have, please share your PDF because
sure,
it helps them. That's what we are doing is next 6 months we are going to transform into social platform where every student can upload their notes. You also can help the student. All the ascendants can connect with you through platform, right? So we are
Yes,
going
sir.
to bring such a platform where all the ascendant students can follow you, and the present students also can get it. So it's like a everyday it's online interaction, right? So they are going to have. So we are going to transform ourselves to that platform. Definitely, we'll see, because this type of notes will definitely help a lot, right? Because see, they think that every secret will be there in that, right? So yeah, if you have, please share with me. I'll share with all the students.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. I'll just
Thank
check
you so
on
much
it
for
and
that.
let you know.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if you have, please. Okay. If you have a notes also, if we can collect it, right? Make more interactive about this app. Yeah, definitely, we'll make it more interactive about this app. Thank you so much. So, Sivatsa, thanks for your advice. Narasimha, once again, thank you so much, man, for joining. Maybe your
Thank you.
parents. Definitely, this is what happens when one succeeds. So many people will celebrate, right? So you have given happiness to your college, your teachers, your. Whenever I talk to another madam about you, she's always anxious, right? I can see the smile on her face, right? Being NRSR, everybody, because they always say this is what one quality, man, that humbleness you said, right? So the moment the teacher sees a student, they want to give more and more, right? So it doesn't mean that they don't give to others, but definitely that quality will attract, right? Like attracts like here. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. We'll have more webinars of this kind in the future. Thank you once again. This is the end of the session. I thank all the teachers, parents, students who are watching YouTube live and who have attended this webinar today's evening. Thank you so much once again. All.